Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is our weekend workout. We'll play with our strength with our body weight skills, starting with a nice warm-up, progressing towards the handstand, but stay with us, as we said, through the warm-up, and then drink a coffee, enjoy the ride. At the head neck first, it's extension and flexion. If you're looking straight ahead, extension is looking up. Flexion, looking down. Moderate shapes here, chin tuck towards chest, pull down to go up. Pull up on the back of the head to go down. One more time each, down to go up, and then pull up on the crown of the head to reset on the horizon. Next, our lateral flexion. That's an ear towards the shoulder. In this movement, think of the head moving a little while the neck barely moves. The head may move a lot, that's not the goal. Stabilize through the body and laterally flex an ear towards the shoulder and return tall. Last action for the head neck, chin tuck and our rotation. Slowly look to rotate, looking over a shoulder, growing taller all the time, top knots to the ceiling, and then again to the other side. Might sound like the Rice Krispies. Hopefully that's not too severe, but look to create room by reaching the crown of the head high as you finish our last rotation here to the side, then return to the front. I'll be replicating those same actions through the rib cage, and then Lauren will take this over with the feet. Rib cage, the flexion. Keep your shoulder blades tight together. Lauren's side profile again demonstrates this move the best. Moderate chin tuck. Then from there, flex the rib cage towards over the hips, meaning round that upper back, but keep the shoulder blades squeezed. Then lift up, extending through, but could you still take the punch? One or two more of those. With the shoulder blades retracted, we'll flex the spine and round the rib cage onto the hips. Then could you still take a punch as you lift the heart or sternum forward? From here, lateral flexion. Keep the ribs over top of those hips as we laterally flex. The head could come with us for this activity, like I'm demonstrating here, or as I'm trying to demonstrate here, the head could stay stable. Flex that rib cage one more time over top of those hips. Return to center. Next, the rotation. Keep the head stable front, keep the hips facing forward, and gently turn through the shoulders. If midnight is straight ahead, when I rotate, my sternum might be facing towards 2 o'clock. It does not need to be a huge range, but again, turn the rib cage over the hips, avoiding spilling out to the side. Last repetition, return to center, and then do whatever you want to kind of just loosen that groove. And from the upper body here to the feet with Lauren.
Giving yourself a little bit room in front of you. Sorry, just hearing that sentence and making sure it made sense. We're going to take a little light step forward. With that forward step, we're going to bend those back toes. Let's push some weight into them behind us and then flick the floor away, coming through. Heel strike, roll through that front foot, gently bend through those back toes and then flick the floor away. Repeat for 2 more steps here as you feel those toes bend and flick as they will in our zoo exhibits as well as our kick-ups. Once you're done that last step, place your feet underneath you. From here, we're going to take a leg back, toe, ball, heel. Now, as you pull that front leg through center underneath you, don't bend your knee. Pull that leg through on a straight. It'll get just behind you, and then it'll have to bend. Toe, ball, heel. Front leg stays straight as it passes underneath, and then it bends. Toe, ball, heel. Straight leg, hips push forward one last time. Toe, ball, heel, and assemble with both your legs underneath. Nice. From here, let's push down into the floor and find our tippiest of toes. And then just walk around the room on those tiptoes. Walk forward. Right now, my knees are nice and straight as I do this. And then I'll walk backwards, still keeping my hips underneath and the extended position. Once you've done tiptoeing around the room, bring them underneath you. Keep your knees nice and straight and slowly descend down. Heels come down to the floor. Straight knees. Now, let's ditch our tiptoes.
That's a tough one here.
And find our heels. How'd you know?
Oh, I'm hoping that was going to be here.
All right, so heels only. As you walk around with your heels only, kind of like a penguin, keep those knees straight and also keep your hips underneath you versus butt out. Hips underneath you. Could you try that same walk backwards on your heels? Ooh, really feeling those butt cheeks. Try not to run as you go on those heels.
Who doesn't like feeling their butt cheeks and their abs?
And then assemble with those feet underneath and try to place down with control. And just shake that out. Nice. From there, finding that parallel position, everything's forward. Knees towards over toes. Hang out. Maybe shift weight to one leg, shift weight to the other leg, and then drive into the floor, extend the hips up. Do it again. Knees towards over toes. And then press to tall. Find your first balance on 2 feet again. I guess we've already done that. Second balance. Keep your knees straight. Press the heels towards the floor. Repeat again. Knees towards over toes. This time, peel the heels away and find a light toe balance in this bent knee position, keeping the hips underneath us and the knees forward. And then heels press to the floor. You stand up tall. Adding on again, knees towards over the toes. This time, let's keep our heels flat, but try to extend our hips to create a nice straight line from our knees, our hips, and our shoulders, but keep the core braced. Then hips go back underneath you and press through to tall. One more progression, knees towards over toes. This time, the heels will peel off the floor. Then we'll try to extend those hips through, creating that nice long line and holding. And then hips will come back underneath us. Heels will find the floor and press through to tall. Shake that out. Burning quads.
Love those moves.
Nice.
Again, what's wrong with feeling your butt cheeks when you walk?
Nothing.
Check that out when you walk around the block today. Folding. The flexion that we did through the head, neck, and the rib cage continues as you reach to the floor. Start with your hands at your sides or across your chest, but the shoulder blades retract. Then the head neck does a gentle tuck, and we flex the head neck first, then that upper back or rib cage, and we're keeping those hips over top of those feet as much as we can. If you need to bend the knees, that's allowed, but continue to imagine those spaces between each vertebrae and ask each to flex. At your safest, deepest place, very subtle, very gentle, could you straighten the knees? And then maybe give them a gentle bend. Then one more time like that, straighten the knees, pull your belly button in, and stack ourselves back up to tall. Connect the rib cage. It's a bottom to top articulation. And let's finish looking up at the ceiling and extension at the neck. One more time, chin tuck. Shoulder blades retract. There's the wall behind you where your hips are trying to avoid the touch, and a wall that's encroaching on your front as if to stay very tight in a phone booth, as Lauren likes to say sometimes. Take your time. Enjoy that forward flex position, and then put your fingertips, calluses, and hands down. Step back a little bit and assemble on all fours. With those fingertips wide open, screw those hands in. The blood donations face forward. First, let's turn over on the pinky side of the hand as to turn up the hand.
You will have to bend the elbow to do that.
Yep. Different things might have to happen. Then spin the fingers in, then roll over the thumb side of the hand, pressing away. So now your fingertips most likely face the side. Then roll over the thumb side of the hand next. Spin on the back. We're trying to limit the elbow bend, but it definitely might happen in there. It definitely happens in there. And through. Same thing on the other side. Turn the palm up. Turn the hand in. I have to shift that weight over there. You see that? So just gently make it work. Then fingertips roll over the thumb and open. And then again over the thumb. Spin the palm in and then reconnect the full hand. Let's press the floor away, shake out those wrists, and then just switch to an underhand grip. Fingertips face those knees. They go down first, calluses, and then the full heel or the palm in the hand. Press the pinkies into the ground. Then press the ring fingers into the ground. And then those middles, and then those indexes, and the thumbs, And now try to keep up. Pinkies, index, middle, ring, index, thumb, pinky, index, middle. And then gently bend the elbows. Peel those hands away. Wrists with me, feet with Lauren, and more hips with Lauren as well, I think.
Let's come down to the floor and end up in our 90-90-ish like position. What that means is you're kind of sitting like you would be if you were in a lunge. So that front knee is bent in front of you and the back knee out the back and in line with your hip. We either have those pointed feet or flex feet, pick one. From here, we're sitting up tall, trying to stack those ribs over top of the hips, and then just gently relax. And then press the floor away, growing up tall. You can have that light outrigger on the floor of your hand. Let's gently push our back hip forward, squeezing our back butt cheek and just holding and trying to grow up. And then relax. Now from here, we're going to keep our front knee heavy, 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 our hips level as we try to open or lift the knee off the back floor. When you're doing this, the back foot is still connected to the floor and you're trying to find some space between the knee and the floor. And then gently place that knee down. Now still keep that front leg heavy. We're going to try some internal rotation on the femur, meaning, again, hips stay level, femur rolls in so the ankle works towards lifting off the floor there, and hold. Try not to hike too much in this hip as you do that for 3, 2, and then gentle place down. One more time of each. Staying tall, lifting that back knee up off the floor, creating that gap or that space for 3, 2, and place down. And one more time on that internal rotation, visualize that femur rolling forward in the socket in order to lift the ankle. And it might not lift at all, and that's okay. For 3, 2, and then down. Nice. One more from here, and then we're going to transition. Look at this front leg. It looks like an L. I want you to lift that whole L leg as one piece. Ankle and knee at the same time. Rather you start looking at it. 3, 2, try to lift it and hold. And try to lift your ankle as high as your knee. For 3, 2, and then down. Whew. Now, staying square forward to the camera. Lift that back knee open. Keep your front knee heavy. When you can't lift that back knee anymore, we're going to say goodbye for a second and start rotating that upper body to center. Then when you can't keep that front knee heavy any longer, it's going to follow you. Let's hang out in our hungry bear before we do some other zoo animals. Sitting up tall, we call this our hungry bear. Our knees are wide, our feet are out to the side.
What about the other side?
We're pausing here and then going there. So right now, just sitting up tall, arms extended and hands lightly placed on the knees. Before you go anywhere, pack your shoulders and start driving your legs together, but your arms out, resisting your own tension. Feel those adductors and then relax, but keep your arms where they are. And now pry your knees off of your arms, trying to create that gap and hold there in that external rotation or that pushing out for 3, 2, and then easy off. Now from here, you're going to take what used to be your front leg and start rolling it in. And then what used to be your back leg is going to rotate open. And you'll end up in your 90-90 facing the other way. If you need to turn around, I get it. So tall, tall, outrigger, sitting up tall. Let's start just by pushing this front leg heavy, which is harder for me on this side. Interesting. And then we'll try to lift up that back knee off the floor, creating the gap between the floor and your leg. Keep longness between your rib cage and your hip bone, and then gently down. Now without shifting or dipping or twisting or bopping, try to lift the ankle off the floor. That internal rotation, femurs rolling in for 3, 2, and then gentle down. Keep that front knee heavy. One more time, open that back leg up. Staying square, you might get some bites to that back butt cheek and then place down. And one last time, staying tall, that internal rotation, ankles lifting, femurs rolling in for 3, 2, and down. Our last one here was looking at that front leg L and trying to lift the knee and the ankle off the floor at the same time. 3, 2, lift, hold. for 4, 3, 2, and down. Whew. We'll pause one more time in our hungry bear. So keep that knee heavy. Open up the back leg. Start the rotation through the upper body. The front leg will come up off the floor. And hungry bear's here for one more time. We'll do the same thing. Try to lift your butt cheeks up so you're sitting on your sit bones with a nice long spine here versus being slumps. If you're slumps, take your hands and just use them here, and you'll have to use invisible arms. Extend your arms. Knees pry in, arms push out. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slow off the tension, and then gently pry the knees away from center. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then easy off. Whew. Shaking that out.
Yeah,
Time to go to the zoo.
We're going to that zoo exhibit. So let's get back on those wrists, and our first exhibit will be the bear crawl. Our bear crawl will start with 6 points of contact. That's hands, knees, and feet. Articulate through the wrists like shooting a basketball, and pick up your left hand and your right knee and just pose. Hold. Touch down, knee and hand. Repeat on the other side. Pull up the right hand, flex the left knee, and then down together. Now place one hand in front of each other as you do that again. Pick up your left hand, flex the right knee, then place the hand in front as if crawling.
In the knee.
And the knee. And then the hand on the other side, and the knee on the other side, and continue one more stride of that 6-point crawl. Next time, take a hand, place it in front so they're staggered, then lift the knees off the ground. Hold. Replace the knees on the floor. Other side, hand, knee. Stagger the hands, feet are staggered too, and holding a hover, and down. Again, the hands stagger, lift in the middle, and could you keep the knees lifted as you take your next stride? Then could you keep your knees lifted as you take your successive strides here? And I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a bowl of honey on Lauren's back. We want to make sure that it doesn't spill a drop. Last stride or two. Then go towards a miniature down dog with bent knees. Push yourself back towards a hinge or folds position. I'm in my hinge. Then extend those hips through, and we're back to standing. Little wiggles in there as well. Let's assemble in our squat. Second position, nice wide stance. First, those isometrics, just gently find the tension. Push your feet in the floor, press out. Does that extend the hips? Might be sensational through the hip flexors, quads, and squeeze your bum. Relax that tension. Then pull down and pull in. Keep those hips forward. Butt cheeks at the back and the sides and the inner groin are definitely working hard here. And coast. Just one more each of those for me, and then we're off to Lauren's zoo exhibit next. Press your feet down. Push your feet out. Then slowly hit the transmission and fully pull in. How does that feel in the adductor groins and hips? And then coast away that tension. Heel, toes together, and wiggles, wiggles.
Excellent.
Zoo exhibit number 2.
Elephant time.
Nice.
So let's get to the floor via that forward fold. The chin will tuck, and we'll roll ourselves forward. As you're rolling forward, as stated earlier, keep that weight stacked so that what that could feel like is more weight to the front of your foot versus in the heels, but still keep the heels on the floor. Now from here, we're going to walk ourselves out to a high plank position. In this high plank position, I want you to tip your tailbone to the ceiling. Now I want you to press the floor forward and back, lifting the hips into the air, creating that A-frame shape, but keeping that long spine through the low back. Now, you can either stay here, or we could take our steps opposite hand and foot, doing that same action at the hand where we flick and flick. And ideally, those heels are working towards touching the floor, but prioritize that low back and that low back spine is staying nice and long. Once you've done a couple steps forward, if you run into a wall, could you do a couple steps backwards? Or you could just spin around like an elephant and come back forwards. Once you're back, I've never seen an elephant do a 360, but it's probably pretty graceful. Let's slowly bend our knees, walk our hands towards our feet, long spine, and press yourself up through that hinge, back to tall. Shake it up.
Squat variation number 2.
Squats. Let's come back to that same position we were just in with Ian there. And again, before we go anywhere, just pull the floor together. So pulling your heels to center and then relax. Do that again. Pull so much that your knees bend and find a partial squat position. From here, I want you then to press away, drifting a knee towards over a toe. Once your knees towards over your toe, are your hips extended and forward. Now, back to that same action we started with. Pull on the straight leg so much it then starts to bend, and then you'll press the other leg long. Do your checklist over here. Hips are forward, knee towards over a toe. Pull on that straight leg, pulling yourself across, hips extended. Let's get to a full pointed foot this time and just hold. Toe stays connected, straighten that knee, hips forward, feel your glute, pull the kneecap up, and then toe ball heel on the straight leg first, start pulling, and then bend. Press over. Full point of the foot again. Hold. Nice long tension here. Toe ball heel one more time each side. Feel those adductors work as you pull press yourself over. This time, full straight tension, maybe a little light hover. Hover from the cheek for 3, 2, toe, ball, heel, pull on the straight leg first, and then press over. Last one, nice straight leg, tension's high, point, 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 point. Toe ball, heel, land center, and then push down into the floor to press those hips forward to tall. And then shake. Whew.
Excellent.
Back to the zoo.
Back to the zoo. We're gonna go right to that crab. Take your time in our forward fold, and then we'll get into a very similar position as the hungry bear to start. Easy does it, but the chin tuck. The shoulders retract, the flexion or rounding through the upper back, rib cage to hips, like in a phone booth. Then flex and bend the knees if you need. And at the bottom, take a big breath, and then out. And then assemble yourself in Lauren's hungry bear, anyhow that works for you. Side profiles, again, probably work the best for this drill. So earlier, we were in the hungry bear, and Lauren suggested the hands behind. Let's do that. I personally found that Lauren recommended we turn our hands to the side. Back-facing hands or fingertips are appropriate. Laterally facing fingers are probably the best. So here, we have our hands pressing back and our proud chest. Our wide stance, like our squats, let's narrow that, more like our hip bridge. Without the hips ever leaving the floor, could you pull your bum as if to do the scooch back? And what I hope that could feel like are the femur heads in the hips slurping up. Then, without leaving the floor, scooch your bum forward. And do you feel your butt cheeks there? Do you feel the femurs pulling out of those hips?
Or rounding that low back slightly.
Rounding the low back. So moderate efforts here. Do your tailbone tip by pulling those femur heads into the hip sockets. That's compression in those hips. And then that nice explosive hi-ya kind of movement, like an up phase of a squat. Tuck the hips under, engaging your butt. One more time. Tip your tailbone back. Scoop it under. And then continue to scoop, continue to extend those hips to our tall crab or tabletops position. Hold for a second. Descend by tipping your tailbone back first. So it's that hinging action at the hips, pulling those femur heads in, return your hips to the ground. Last repetition. Tuck, engage those glutes, extend those hips, firm cramps of the glutes and those abs. Then initiate the down phase by pulling the tailbone back, compressing those femurs in the hips till you sit on your buttocks. And then let's go back towards the elephant exhibit as we stand. So hands on the floor, establish the high planks position like Lauren said, and then tailbone tip reach to the ceiling, pressing back. Then walk through those hands, assemble yourself in your hinge position, shins vertical, hips back, and extend through. Lauren does such a wonderful job with that second position weight transfer. I think you should do that again. And just keep going. Or do what you had planned.
All right, let's get back to that and we'll add our lift offs here.
Yes.
So feel the pull, 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 bend. Good. Press over. Let's get back to where we ended. So we ended with a full pointed foot, inseam forward, hips forward, knee towards over toe, light balance hold. 3, 2, toe, ball, heel. Feel the pull right away and then press over. Point the foot, hips forward, knee over toe, inseam forward, straight leg. 3, 2, toe, ball, heel, pull, pull, pull. Press over. Find your balance again. We're lifting from the glute. Now drive into the floor, extend the knee and hold. Still stay square forward with those hips. Then knee goes back over the toe. Toe, ball, heel, pull yourself across, press away. Point, hold. 3, straighten the knee, hold. 3, 2, knee goes back over the toe. Toe, ball, heel, pull yourself across, press yourself over, full transfer. Then push into the floor, grow, either stay or find next level balance up on that demi-point position, holding for 3, 2, find the heel with control. Knee goes back over the toe. Place the foot down, start pulling on that straight leg. Pressing over. Full transfer, grow up. Then find next level holding for 4, 3, 2, heel finds the floor, knee goes back over the toe, toe ball, heel, pull to center. Let's try to pull so much we sink a little lower. And then drive into the floor and press to tall. Whew. Shake it up.
Are you the zoo master or am I?
I don't know where you're going.
Oh,
now.
We're going to the crow.
Oh,
we're
you just
going
skipped
the
the one.
apiary here.
I didn't know if you were skipping
Aviary.
or going back.
Nah, we'll go to that crow if that's okay.
Crow it up.
Crow it up.
Caw-caw.
Caw-caw. Chin tuck. It's the forward flexion as you go down. The shoulder blades retract and flex that rib cage over the hips. Screw your feet in too. That'll help give you a little more traction to fold in that telephone booth. Then hands to the floor. Knees to the ground. And let's look at Lauren as she does her first crow here. Setting up the hands, stiffening those elbows, but then letting them bend just a little bit. Placing the knees on those triceps or high on those elbows. She's going right for it, lifting those toes. Is she breathing? Of course she is. Is she working hard? You bet. Take a time. Find that low squats position and could you hang out there as Lauren coaches me through the same thing.
Whew.
Or stand, anywhere that's comfortable for you.
So those hands gripping the floor, the knees will come out to rest high on the tricep armpits. Load up by gently drifting forward and bending the elbows. You can always start by removing one foot and then the other, and then maybe both feet. And once you find the balance or where you're going to stay, feel how your hands help you balance. How if you're going too far forward, you have to press with your fingertips back. Or if you're going back, you have to pull and transfer your weight more to the front of your hand. Feel that transfer in that load, and then slowly dismount, hanging out in your low squat.
Lauren's turn next. Work in this I go, you go pattern. Take time, build endurance for those hands, and look at each other's success, and have fun with your moves. We're breathing. Lauren was almost about to do it, so I'm just going to say it. A progression for this could be gently getting your head towards the floor and then pushing back. And why we like that drill is it helps us coach that forward back nature of our handstand. If you're going one way, you have to push the other.
All right.
My turn.
Team Ian's turn. So use that hand, really spread it out, grip the floor. I have slightly bent fingertips while I'm doing this because I use them as I grip, but my callus line is heavy on the floor. My finger pads are heavy on the floor, as well as that palm corner. So feel that weight there. Use it as you transfer forward and back, Only go somewhere that you can safely get out of versus doing a front roll. Save that.
Can we get out of our squat?
Yep.
Okay.
Pushing the floor away, pressing up to tall.
Awesome.
One more squat version though. Let's take it, just a second.
Find the wall or a training partner, who cares? Take time on those up-down transitions.
All right, so just that wider stance, so wider than what we just did. And we're gonna pull ourselves down and do an explosive transfer of weight. So before we go anywhere, straight legs pull together. Then pull so much you bend. Now from here, maybe I got a little excited on my wideness. From here, you're gonna press in one leg. So push over, hold. As we're finding this stationary balance, I want the leg that's balancing, knee ramrod straight, stacked underneath you. Then point the leg and hold it. Toe ball, heel, land center. Press, hold. Stationary leg, knee straight, hips forward. Knee to as side as you can get it. Point it, hold it. Toe ball, heel, land center. Press, hold. Find that stability right away. Point, land center. Press, hold. Good. Ramrod stacked. Point and land. One more time each side here. Ooh, I was going to say really try to stick it and then I threw it off. Keep that hip underneath you. Point and land center. One last time. Hold. 3, 2, point. We'll land center and then press to tall. Whoa, nice.
Excellent.
Shake it up.
As a drill to help us in our handstands, it's half a hybrid zoo animal. It's half handstand, half amazing, maybe third if we use those proportions. But it's that 3-point down dog. Let's get back to the floor, taking our time, and maybe let's just try just a different way to get there in that sissy squat Lauren warmed us up for earlier. It started with those knees over toes, then we got to the toe points. Then Lauren asked us to extend those hips through just like that crab's position. And could you get safely low? And this is about it for me today. Then I'll pull my hips underneath, descend the rest of that range, then knees to the floor, and extend through. Now that we're here, you're in the front, Lauren. Take us through the first 3 points.
Excellent. First, we'll connect with 4 points. So we'll start in our plank position, and then we'll take one away. Let's start in our high plank position. Hands under shoulders, toes tucked, hips tucked, connecting ribs to hips, squeezing your butt. Now, you're going to press the floor forward and back, flicking a foot, reaching that leg up to the ceiling, and this is where you'll be in your 3 points. I want you to keep your hips square to the floor, that back top knee nice and straight. Then pull on the floor to bring yourself back to that plank. Retuck the hips, squeeze the butt, brace the core, flick with the other foot, press forward to lift the hips. Keep the hips square to the floor. Pull back to center. Repeating for about 2 more on each side. Feel that push-pull as we did in our squats as you pull yourself back through that plank and then press the floor away to lift the hips up. Point the toe out the back. Try to keep both knees straight. Pull through center. One last time each way. As you keep those hips square, as you drift through this plank position, can you get some wrist extension? So shoulders over top of those fingertips. Last one. End in your plank position. Hold, squeeze, brace, and then put your knees down. Point your feet out the back and sit back lightly on those legs. From here, squeeze your butts, extend your hips, tuck your toes, with or without your hands. Let's rock back. Find the toe balance, press to tall, and then control the down. Knees stay straight and descend.
Why do those knees want to bend, Lauren? Talking about mine. They want to bend. Hey.
There might have been some past history.
Don't share too
habit
much
built
this
in.
morning. I'd like to do one more set of that Chico weight transfer squat, and then a little minute of fun. 3 each side. As Lauren said, let's stick those landings to finish. Let's pull ourselves down, power to one leg, and then climb, and then extend. Toe ball heels on that landing. Press away. Stick the landing, pull up the leg, extend, toe ball heel. Hi-ya kind of power, controlled grace, and quiet on the landing, and away. The goal here is to get lower, not necessarily wider. Come back to that base of support. Climb. This is our second last rep here. Toe ball heel. And one last time, stick the landing. Climb the leg. Point. Toe ball. Press the tall. Heel toes together. We introduce you or welcome you back to our 1 minute of craziness. This is where Lauren and I will try to hold a handstand for as safe and long as we can, and encourage you to spend 1 minute in your favorite drill today. Crab, silly walk, plank, elephant, down dog, you name it. Try to spend 1 minute on your hands if your wrists allow.
Crow.
Crow. Squat. Any move. We're gonna do this in about 5 seconds. Take your time. Set up just right. 3, 2, go. Just shy of 30 seconds there. Lauren found her groove. I was happy with my pursuit. Celebrate what you got. Shake it out. Whew. If there is that head rush, maybe lean against the wall.
That wasn't quite a minute, was it?
No, it wasn't.
That was like 20 seconds.
I held mine for 30 seconds and you were finding your groove. So just trying to
I want to do it again,
commentate in the back. Okay, well, this is the extended minute of craziness. Let's take a little rest, shake it out, and finish in a strong way. We might climb a wall too in our practice. We'll do lots of things. We invite you to come back in the near future and focus on those abs.
Yeah, just need to get that core fired up.
I'm crazy, or Lauren's crazy about handstands. Let's get this going for one more pursuit, one more try. Let's try to fill those extra 30 seconds in the minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, that's a better note to end on there. Whew. Sometimes practicing those kick-ups first really helps.
Yeah.
Before ultimately trying to hold it.
Nice.
Whew.
2 rounds of 30 seconds for me. That's pretty good. Finish with integrity. Have fun along the way. And my wrists are safely saying that's enough of that for today.
Lots of crawling.
Lots of crawls. Lauren loves to finish with those L-sit compressions. So let's get to the floor as you finish off with one more core drill for that compression of the core, for anything you want to do and more.
2 more core drills.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Let's start first by sitting in this V shape. Pointed feet from here, keeping your spine nice and extended. Maybe you just hold this light position. Could we lift the toes off the floor and find this V position? I have my arms laid out in front of me. They could be off the floor to the side. Either stay here or try to extend, reaching away from center, and then pulling back in. Repeat, extend, reaching away into that hollow position, and pull. If it's too much, maybe you're going baby extension, back in. Reaching a little further, back in, or ultimately towards that banana shape or hollow hold. We can even try to extend those arms overhead and pull them back. One last time, and back, and then just hold for 3, 2, and then soft down. Whew.
That was harder than the drill I had imagined, but I like it.
Harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, different.
Very different.
All right, let's do the other one now.
Okay.
So tuck those cheeks underneath you so you have that nice long position and the legs are tucked in. We have pointed toes, light grip, and that upper body is in more that hollow position. So you don't need to force the chest lift, but force that hollow ribs to hips, lats engaged. Now, pointed leg pulls into the socket, lifts off the floor and holds for 3, 2, soft down. Knees nice and straight, other side. 3, 2, and down. Repeat. Up and hold. 3, 2, and down. In, up, hold, and down. One more time on singles. Holding, keeping that knee straight and down. Keeping those toes pointed and that compression in the hip socket. Now for 3, could we do double legs? Here we go. Lift off. 3, 2, and down. 3, 2, and down. Last time. 3, 2, and down.
And done. Awesome.
Whew.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining Laura and I here today at our Bars and Bells weekend workout, where we invite you to play with your strength. Anything you're doing today, let us know. What are we doing today?
Cleaning
Biking
a closet.
around, cleaning a closet on a beautiful day.
It's really
you
exciting.
might save the closets till tomorrow when it's raining.
That's what keeps happening.
If it rains, join us in the archive on a morning routine, perfect for any day, but in particular, a slow rain day with maybe your favorite hot beverage at the side. Right now, I like the Get Up Roast. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauren.
We are Bars and Bells.
We stay strong, take care, and we'll train soon. Thanks for coming. Goodbye.
Goodbye.